everyone, welcome back to Gracie May's Tarot. Hope you're having a great day. So what we're going to be doing today is looking at what are people's first impressions of you. So we have three groups to choose from. We've got pile 1 with the crystal kitty, we've got pile 2 with the toasty cat, and we have pile 3 with the black kitty cat. So take a moment, pause the video, meditate on the groups. The timestamps are listed below in the description box, just like always. And I will say too, I know for myself personally, people's first impressions of me can be very wildly off. So from who I actually am, but I'm aware of it. I know I come off that way. So for some of you, it may sound like this reading doesn't sound like you at all. But that's kind of the point, right? Because knowing what people's first impression of you is can be very useful and very helpful, especially in situations where you're meeting new people, like you're starting a new job. So I thought this reading would be helpful for those of you who, really don't know how you come off to other people, or at least a good laugh for those of you who know how you come off to other people. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into your reading. Alright, all my pile 1s who chose the crystal kitty cat, welcome to your reading. So we are shuffling on camera today. Comment down below what your preference is. I think from here on out, I'm going to do a mixture of, pre-pulled cards and shuffling on camera just to accommodate everyone's preferences. But definitely leave a comment down below if you like this style of reading. But like I said, for pile 1, we're going to be finding out what are people's first impressions of you. So pile 1, how do people see you? How do you come off to other people? People's first impressions of you. Okay. And like I said in the intro, sorry, there's a piece of hair. For those of you who didn't listen to the intro, I mentioned that for myself personally, I know that how I come off to other people is very different than how I actually am. So that may be the case for those of you watching, and I think that could be very useful. Like I said, especially in new situations where you're meeting new people. Could definitely be beneficial. Okay, this wanted to pop. All right. Pile 1, how do people see you? Oh, I love that. The world. Let's get maybe 2 more cards. Oh man, okay. 1 more card, please, Spirit. Oh, we got 2. So we've got Judgment and the Ace of Cups. Okay. So bottom of the deck, we've got 10 of Wands, and then we have Judgment here, and we have the Ace of Cups. Sorry, I changed my setup here, and so I'm not quite sure where exactly it cuts off. I hope that you guys can see that. Okay, so we have the 10 of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, we got Strength, the World, Judgment, and the Ace of Cups. Okay. You guys make quite the first impression, okay? I think that you come off as having kind of this quiet confidence about you. I mean, there's these 2 different sides of you here. So you have this strong inner strength, you have this strength of your character where you're very comfortable, or at least you come off this way, as being very comfortable with who you are. There's this quiet self-assurance to you. You don't walk into a room screaming like this. This is more of your inner power, okay? You have this inner roar, this inner lion, and I think on the outside you come off as more of maybe a quiet, aloof house cat. You do come off as very independent, but at the same time, sorry, there's a truck going by, but at the same time, there's a lot of inner strength. There's this other wilder, in your face side to you, but you can call upon this energy when you need it. But on the outside, you have this calm outer demeanor, but it still commands respect. Both of these energies command respect, but in very different ways. Like, this energy expects respect. This energy demands it. But both of these sides of you exist. It's just this is the outer shell. And if people, you know, treat you poorly, this side can be called upon when you need it. Or if you see someone else being treated poorly, because I do think there's definitely an aspect here of you standing up for other people. There is so much noise outside. I think there's a plane going by now. Like, what in the world? Okay, so yes, I think that you're a lion and people mistake you as being a house cat kind of energy. Like, people sometimes can underestimate you and they don't realize you have this in you. So I think sometimes people will try you. And I say that too because with the 10 of Wands here and the 10 of Pentacles, you are very hardworking, and sometimes because you have the strong work ethic, people can see you as someone who can be taken advantage of. That's not true, but people will try you. People will test you in this manner. Yeah, and we've got Queen of Wands here too. I think people will sometimes take advantage of your kindness, but it doesn't happen for very long because they find out real quick you're not the one. And you do come off as successful, as someone who has it together. People see you as very abundant in all areas of your life, especially because we have the World here too. You seem very well-rounded. You seem like you have it all together. Very poised, very graceful energy here. That doesn't mean it's true. Okay, that doesn't mean you have it all figured out, but you come across as someone who does. You carry yourself that way. You know, for those of you who aren't really truly confident, you're one of those fake it till you make it people. You know, like, you command this. And then here with the Ace of Cups too, you're very friendly. You have that Leo energy to you. You could be a Leo rising or a Leo sun, or just have some sort of dominant Leo placement in your birth chart. You don't have to, but that can be confirmation for some of you who are maybe a bit unsure of which pile to pick. But here with the Ace of Cups, you know, you have that Leo generosity to you. You have that Leo friendliness. Even if you're not the most extroverted person, because there are a lot of quiet, more reserved Leos out there, but you still have this generosity, you still have this willingness to give to other people. And I think because you have that giving nature with the 7 of Swords here, like I was talking about with the 10 of Wands, people will try to take advantage of that. People will try to, unfortunately, see you as someone that they can get something from, something that they can take from, whether that's like resources, like your time and your energy, or if it's like physical things, like, you know, they may try to take advantage of you by like borrowing money or something like that. People can take advantage of your kindness, and they mistake that because you have this kind nature that you don't have strength. You know, they mistake your kindness for weakness kind of thing, which is very unfortunate because, I mean, not to like flatter you guys, but you're a really awesome person. With the Strength card here in the World and the Ace of Cups, I mean, you're a wonderful person, and I think you're a really good friend, really is what I'm getting from a lot of this. But it's just that people read you wrong, I think, and they find out real quick. And that's something that makes me happy, is that even if you don't resonate with this now, I think maybe you'll grow into this energy. If you don't feel connected to your inner strength now, one day you will, as you kind of experience this over and over again. You will either learn how to do this, or you already know how. You know how to stand up for yourself. You know how to advocate for yourself and for others. With Judgment here, this kind of also reminds me of the Justice card, but there's this feeling here of you have a very strong sense of values and ethics, and when you see things like this happening where things are imbalanced and things are unfair, you can't stand it. I mean, you are someone who is like the social justice like advocate in the room. You know, you like genuinely believe in things, and you can't stand for someone to be taken advantage of, including yourself, you know, so you are an advocate for others. You know, you do call upon this judgment, but in a very positive way. Okay, let's see what else we can find out. This is starting off pretty clear, I would say. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I was like, what was I gonna say? The message was clear. Even if I'm feeling a bit spacey right now. Okay, pile 1. What are people's first impressions of you? Can we get some more clarity for my pile 1s? People's first impressions of them. How pretty, right? The back of these cards. I love this fairy deck. All right, pile 1. You were just like flipping out at me. Where is all this hair coming from? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I shed so much. It's ridiculous. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We'll take all of them. Okay, so here we have companions. This to me reminds me of what I said, where I said I think you're a really good friend. Yes, I do think friendship and a sense of community is very important to you, as well as a sense of loyalty, because Leos are very loyal. You know, you stick up for your tribe, you stick up for your people, you know, and especially too, I think also you come across as a big animal lover. You know, you may be that person that everyone knows, like, oh, they have several pets, or like, oh, they love their pet. Their pet is like their child, their pet is their baby. Like, people know you love dogs or you love cats or whatever. Like, that's a central feature of your personality, and it's something that you're known for. Like, you're known to be a cat lover, or you're known to be a big dog lover, and you could advocate a lot for animals. Maybe some of you too are like vegetarians or vegans, and people know you for that, because that's something that, you know, like, people know. You know, if there's like an office party, they're like, oh, we have to make sure, you know, we accommodate this person's diet, that kind of thing. And then we have rescued. Yeah, this kind of comes back again to that idea that, you know, you will stand up for other people. If you see someone who is, you know, kind of being attacked by multiple people, or if you see that someone is struggling, you're always willing to lend a helping hand, you know, as long as they're not taking advantage of you. And I think also with this rescued card, you save yourself. You know, like I said, you're very hardworking. You could be faced with a lot of challenges, and you're known to be resilient. You know, you're known to overcome things. With the World card here, like, it kind of, the way this is looking here with like the 2 wands, it's like any challenge could come at you from any direction, and like, you're prepared, you're ready for it. It's just that look of determination on this cat's face. That's not like the traditional meaning of the World, but I don't know, there's something about that facial expression that's making me think like you're your own hero, and that's something I think that people respect about you. And that may not necessarily be a first impression, but it's something that you're known for. Okay, gift revealed. I do think, like I said, you play your cards a bit closer to the chest. So I think that people's first impression of you may be a bit off. Like I said before, you know, you kind of hide that inner strength, and you bring out that lion side to you when you need to. But otherwise, I think you like to come across as very soft and friendly and generous and open. But, you know, like, please try me, and you will find a very different side to me, you know? And we have whispers of spring. I do think that you also this to me reminds me of very strong feminine energy with spring and like birth and renewal, and that calls back again to that, because I think that maybe part of the issue is that, unfortunately, because of the society that we live in, because you are so feminine, you know, and this is just talking about energy, this doesn't have to mean how you physically present, although because this is a first impressions video, you may resonate with that message. But I think because you're so feminine, just either in your energy or your presentation or both, people mistake that for weakness. They don't think that you're tough. And you are so tough. You know, you are not someone to be trifled with. Like, and I think also there's this creativity to you too. You know, I think you're a unique character. You know, you may dress in a unique way, or you may have unique hobbies. Even just the fact that you're interested in tarot, you know, that could set you apart. Stuff like that. There is this other quality to you, and I think there's maybe a little bit of mystery there. And so people either prejudge you very quickly and get it wrong, or they seem to pick up on that there's more to you that you're not showing, that there's a bit of a mystery to you, a bit of an allure here. You know, you kind of bloom as people get to know you. You know, you may be a closed like flower, and then you know, like the bud blooms, and you know, you show your true petals, you show your true self over time. But yeah, it's sort of a privilege to truly know you, kind of thing. And then we have hummingbird dreams. I do think that some of you are like very petite and soft, and because the hummingbird is very petite and small, yet it commands a lot of attention, you know, and it's also busy all the time, right? Like the hummingbird never stops, and so maybe that's too, like you're always very busy, always on the go, go, go. And that affects people's first impression of you for certain. But you also command a lot of attention, even though you're soft and you're small and you're little. And that could, again, just be in your energy, maybe not in your presentation. You could be just very soft-spoken, or, you know, like I said, just your energy is very feminine. You don't like have like a loud booming voice, or you don't, even the way you sit, maybe you like cross your legs and kind of, you know, you don't kind of take up a lot of space kind of thing. You know, like that masculine energy of like commanding all the attention and all the space in the room. You don't do that, but you still command attention because of this uniqueness, because of this allure that you have. People are drawn to really like your warmth, and you know, that's that Leo sun energy. I just think that unfortunately people mistake that for weakness when it's definitely not. So yeah, let's see what else we have, because I feel like I'm repeating myself. When I start to repeat myself, it's definitely time to move on. All right, let's see if there's any more like zodiac information we can get. Some clues here about pile one and how they come off to other people. Pile one and their first impressions. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see what else we have here. Pile one, how do they come off to other people? First impressions. Okay, yep. Oh, this is funny. Okay. Trine. You seem like someone who is very go with the flow. You seem someone, you come across as someone who is very easygoing, as someone who is very good-natured, someone who's, like I said, friendly, someone who wants everyone to get along, and so sometimes you may be cast in that like peacemaker mode, that kind of thing. Cardinal, these are the instigators, the leaders, the go-getters. I think that you are a very strong leader. I just think it takes a while for people to recognize those leadership skills in you, because Leo is the leader for sure. But I think because you have that feminine side to you, especially here we have Venus, so we were definitely right about that. There's this romanticism to you. You're probably a very beautiful person, even if you don't see yourself as that way. You definitely come across that way. You're at least attractive to other people physically, and maybe too for some of you, because you are physically attractive to others, especially too we have Whispers of Spring. Maybe people think you're dumb, you know, and they underestimate your intelligence as a result of that, which is unfortunate. Or because you're so feminine, you know, again, like people don't see you as a strong leader because of sexism, really. But you're an initiator, you're a hard worker. We had that in the very beginning with the Ten of Wands. So yeah, I think there's a lot of imagination within you. There's a lot of creativity. There's a lot below the surface that people don't see at first, that they miss. You know, they don't understand the way in which you are an innovator too. You know, with this pioneering spirit, you not only have a vision, but you have the work ethic and the ambition to back it up. And that's why I think too, people may take advantage of you because they're intimidated by you. You know, I think that you could definitely spark some jealousy in other people. And so maybe that's why too, some people really aim to put you down. And it may be in subtle ways, but they do that to you, and that sparks that inner lion to come out. You know, that is what has taught you resilience and that self-assurance, because you had to fight for that confidence. You know, people tried to tell you that you were a mouse when you are a lion, you know. People were intimidated by you. And then, of course, we have fire. So with Cardinal, too, we have Aries energy coming in strong. The fact that we have fire and Cardinal here. But Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries all could be prominent placements in your chart. Maybe that's your sun sign, your rising. Your ascendant's probably coming out pretty strong in this reading because this is a first impression reading. But you definitely have this passion to you and this optimism and confidence to you, and this go-getter kind of attitude that, you know, definitely comes out. On bottom of the deck, we had air. So like I said, you are very intelligent, and you're strong communicators. And I think too, you know, we're getting a bit of Libra energy here as well. So Libra, Aquarius, I would also say, because we said you had that, we picked up on innovator, and we picked up that you're a good friend. So I think Aquarius could also be a dominant placement in your chart for some of you. And then with Gemini too, we said you're a good peacemaker. Geminis too are very bubbly, and they are also people I think of as being good friends, and being like networkers, and that could also contribute to that go-getter attitude. And I think, like I said, strong communicator, intelligent, good friend. Yes, okay. Like I said, starting to repeat myself. I think I got all of the messages there. And I think too, with that open-mindedness, that's why too, you don't judge other people harshly, but you expect everyone to be really treated fairly. And so because you have those strong values and like moral compass, that's what makes you such a good advocate for, you know, things related to social justice and unfairness that you see in the world, you know. Okay, let's just end with a self-care message from your guides, and then we will close out this reading. Okay, self-care message for pile 1. Self-care message for pile 1. You got align your intentions with your actions. I really like that for you all. So if you have anything that you've been planning, definitely make sure that your intentions are matching up with your actions. Make sure that your plans match up with your goals. Like I said, people will try to put you down. You know, don't forget that inner lion. Don't forget the fire and the cardinal energy that you have. You know, if you're struggling right now in this mode, you know, reconnect with that inner strength and ask for help if you need it, and set firm boundaries with people who are taking advantage of you. And then bottom of the deck, we just have journal it out, write how you feel. You know, Leo rules the heart, so definitely connect with your true heart's desires and, you know, get in touch with your feelings. We did have the Queen of Cups there, so you definitely have a great capacity to be compassionate and empathetic. So try to extend that towards yourself as well, and you will be in a very good place. Okay, pile 1, this was your reading. I hope that it resonated, and I hope that it was helpful to you as well. If you like this style of reading, like I said, comment down below. So we said comment, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you always know when I upload. I'm trying to grow our community, and every little bit of support makes me so happy. I love reading your comments. And yeah, take care, pile 1. I will see you guys in my next one. Alright, all my pile 2s who chose the toasty cat, welcome to your reading. I just love saying that, toasty cat. Okay, let's find out for pile 2, what are people's first impressions of them? Now mind you, like I said in the intro, these first impressions may be completely off from how you actually are, but can definitely be helpful to know how you come across to other people, and you know, whether or not you would like to change that in like the workplace or something, whatever the case may be. Also, I think it's always entertaining to see how right or wrong people are and how they first see you. Okay, pile 2. How do you come across to other people? Let's find out. Pile 2. Take a moment to thank your guides for coming through. Ooh, okay. Get it, pile 2. Oh, wow, okay. 8 of Wands, 4 of Cups, the High Priestess, 6 of Wands. Oh, wow, okay. You all are just like pile 1 in that you have a very strong first impression. Okay, bottom of the deck we have the Hermit. Yep. Okay. So the Hermit, 6 of Wands, 9 of Cups, 8 of Wands, 4 of Cups, and the High Priestess. Okay. A little bit complicated for you all, but I think that this group probably expected that. Okay. Let's start actually with the 8 of Wands here. People's first impressions of you change rapidly. Like, people will meet you for the first time, make an impression, and then as they're talking to you, it starts to change. And maybe by the second or third like interaction with you, their original initial assessment has wildly changed. But it's 8 of Wands, so it does change typically for the positive. So I think at first, with the Hermit here being the bottom of the deck, I think that people see you as someone who is very quiet, very introverted, reflective, reserved. This is Virgo energy too, so, you know, people who, you know, there are certain people, I think especially within like the American culture, you know, like if you're from here, you know what I'm talking about, but especially too in certain regions of the United States where if you're not bubbly and friendly, especially if you are a feminine watching this, people can read you as being stuck up or snobby, or I don't know, they just can form a very negative impression of you if you're not really extroverted. You know, just because you're not talking and chatting, or you're not the best with small talk, or small talk just doesn't interest you, or you're not the first person to greet someone, or you're not the type of person to make a big deal about saying good morning or hello. People can see you as rude, or like I said, unfriendly, or a host of other really negative terms when they don't know you like whatsoever, and they just read it in a very negative light. But like I said, the more that they talk to you, the more that rapidly changes, okay? And I think that's too why we have the 6 of Wands here, the Victory card. I think that people can see you at first as someone who is a bit arrogant or a bit full of themselves just because you're quiet, and people may view that as, you know, you think that you're too good to speak to people. You think you're too good for everyone else in the room. You think you're above other people, and that couldn't be further from the case. Like, that is so wildly off that it's funny, okay? And I think that's too why we have the 9 of Cups here. You know, if you're really successful too with the 6 of Wands, this is the card of victory, and the 9 of Cups, people may think like, oh, she thinks she has it all, or oh, he thinks he has it all, and they're too good for anyone else here. Or, you know, maybe you haven't even reached this level of success yet, but you will eventually, and that's going to become a problem. Or people just make these wild assumptions about you that are so off. Like, maybe you're someone who has obtained a lot. Maybe you've obtained a high position in your career, in your field, or maybe you have like a master's degree or something like that. And people will just read that as arrogant instead of just being like, oh, that person's accomplished and they are a bit reserved. Like, instead of reading it like that, they think that you're arrogant or that you're full of yourself, and you're not. But like I said, that changes very quickly. With this Four of Cups here, it's like people will try to speak to you, talk to you, and you kind of just seem like you're not that interested. And it could be too, like I said, you're just not one for small talk. You don't care. Like, you have your friend group, you have your family, or people who really matter in your life, who you connect with on a deep level, who share the same values as you. Like, you have your group of people, and you're the type of person where you would rather have a close-knit group of friends and people you trust than a bunch of acquaintances. And I also think too, this is your essential nature. This is who you truly are with the High Priestess. And because you know yourself and you see right through people, it's kind of funny to me that people read you so incredibly wrong, but you see other people for who they are within seconds of meeting them. And if the vibe is off, you don't entertain it. Other people are like, why don't you like them? They're so friendly. Like, why don't you like them? They're so nice. And you're like, no, they're not. They're a really fake person. They have really bad intentions. They have a bad energy, whatever the case may be. And it's not also too that you're judgmental of other people. It's just that you see the truth so clearly, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're affected by other people's energy, or you're spending time with people who don't align with your values, or people who don't want the best for you, people who are jealous of you, people who don't want the best for you, people who would rather see you fall and then kick you when you're down. You don't need that in your life, right? So you don't entertain that. You don't put yourself in the position to be taken advantage of, or to have people lie to you, or try to put you down in any way. You sort of stand in your own power, and you have this it's kind of like pile one in a sense, but you have this confidence and this self-assurance to you because you know yourself, and you know yourself deeply with the Hermit. You have taken the time to get to know yourself, and because you know yourself and you see yourself so clearly, you're able to see through to other people's intentions too. And so you kind of just look at it like, well, I'm going to leave them to learn their lessons and to hopefully grow, but I don't need to be around them, and I don't need to give them my energy because they don't deserve it. And they're not giving me anything. Not really. I can't trust this flower they're offering me. So I'm bored. Yeah, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be around it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like loving this energy that you guys have. Like, yeah. Love it. And it's ironic. It's so funny that other people just see you so, it's just so off. Okay, let's find out some more information for my pile twos. We've got winter, the fire element, and let's get maybe one more card or two. Discovery. And then bottom of the deck here we have water element. Okay, so winter here. I feel like this is the least popular season. I feel like winter is the most misunderstood season, and personally it's one of my favorites. But with winter, people kind of struggle and they don't really see the beauty in winter you know, with everything dead, everything fallen from autumn, you know, spring hasn't happened yet, things aren't blooming. People get depressed in the winter. People can struggle with this season. You know, winter kind of has the rep of being the hardest season. And it's a shame too, right? Because there's a lot of purity and a lot of innocence and a lot of opportunity for potential, right? Like if you think of snow, all that white canvas stretching out, there's limitless potential for things to be painted upon that white canvas. And with the dead in the winter, you know, it's a time for healing. It's a time for self-reflection. It reminds me a lot of the Hermit card. Like if the Hermit was a season, it would be winter. But yeah, and I think too, people are more isolated in the winter. You know, you're not going outdoors and, you know, having these connections with other people. Like, you know, you're not going to a family barbecue in the winter. So I think that people can struggle with that isolation, whereas you are comfortable with it because you know yourself and you don't mind spending time alone. And so I think too with winter, you're just misunderstood and people don't appreciate it. And I think that you understand how you can make the best out of difficult circumstances. You know, if you think of the winter time, it's the time where we really spend a lot of time within our homes and we focus on making our homes beautiful and making the season beautiful. Again, like if you live in America, there's Thanksgiving and there's, you know, Halloween and kind of like that part kicking off before you go into winter. And then in winter you have New Year's and you have Christmas or whatever holidays you celebrate during that time. But that sort of tail end of the year, like the end of autumn, the beginning of winter, and kind of midwinter, there are a lot of holidays kind of all jam-packed into the winter season because you also have Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. So there's a lot of cause for celebration, and you know, we hang up like twinkly lights and we drink hot cocoa and we, you know, start a fire and we create warmth within our homes. And so there's a lot here about making the best of things. And you know, this is a lot that I'm getting into for a first impressions reading, but it's because you have this deep inner wisdom that I don't think that people see at first. And it's kind of like they have to get to know you. They have to warm up to you. They have to understand. It takes a while for people to get your vibe. You know, if they themselves haven't been through the hermit energy, it's difficult for them to truly see you and truly see the best in you. And then with the fire element here, there's this whole other side of you, I think, that comes out with the Eight of Wands. Because I said, it's like this progression from winter to this fire card where people warm up to you and they see how much wisdom and how much you have to offer. And it's also kind of like the flip side of this, like you do have something to offer, but it's like people don't see it at first and they have to warm up to you. And then here with discovery, like this to me is kind of a combination of both of these cards. You know, people start to uncover who you truly are, but it's at your own discretion. Like you decide who you open up to. Not everyone gets to see this beautiful, abundant side to you and all of the beauty that you have to offer, because I think you have a very strong spiritual side and a very compassionate side to you and a very, like I said, just very wise, intuitive side to you. And you're probably, this is the group I think too where, you know, you could have some psychic abilities as well, but you have just so much to offer. And I think you're also very connected with the seasons and very connected with nature. And I say you have this compassionate, empathetic side to you because you have the water element. I think that you all are just so mature that people who are less, you know, like I said, not quite as far along in their journey of self-discovery, that they just don't get it, you know, and they really misread you. And you know, you're compassionate towards those people. You don't let it get to you, but you also don't sacrifice your energy to them. You know, you still hold those boundaries. Okay, let's get some more zodiac information for pile 3 and their first impressions. Pile 3. Oh, I said pile 3. I'm so sorry. Pile 2. Pile 2 and their first impressions. Let's shuffle again. I'm so sorry. Pile 2. Maybe some of you were drawn to pile 3 too, and that's why it came up. I haven't filmed pile 3 yet, so I don't know. Pile 2 and your first impressions. Yay. Oh, Trine came out again. Chiron. Oh yeah, Virgo on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So we'll actually put this up here because really you've gotten it twice now. So remember how I said you had the Hermit, bottom of the deck, and then you got Virgo here, bottom of the deck? That's kind of funny. For those of you who are less familiar with tarot, you know, the Hermit is associated with Virgo. So I do think that there's the strong energy of you being like reserved, detail-oriented. You know, some of you maybe when you were younger had a tendency towards wanting to fix people, and as you've gotten older, you've stepped into, like I said, that high priestess energy where, you know, you understand that not everyone is worth your time and that you can't save people and that you sometimes do have to hold people at a distance for your own mental health. And you have, like I said, a lot of integrity, and you could too be very like health conscious with Virgo ruling the 6th house. You know, health could be very important to you, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual. Just health in general and wellness is very important to you. With Yang energy, I think too, maybe for those of you who are, you know, like you're a female watching this, maybe too that's why people are a bit put off by you, because you do come in with this masculine energy. And sometimes too, you know, just with the way that society is, we can be, I say we, I don't believe this myself, but society in general can be prejudiced and cruel to people who are like male but present more with the feminine energy, or females who present more with the masculine energy. You know, people can be critical of that, which is ridiculous, but that is, you know, sometimes the case. And I think too with Chiron here, I saw the word heel on there and it flipped me around. But with Chiron being here too, I think that you trigger people without even meaning to. You have this deep inner wisdom. I do think a lot of you have psychic abilities to some extent, and because of your connection to the divine, because you are very close with your spirit guides, whether or not you are aware of that, you are, but you know, you kind of hold up a mirror and you reflect to people things that they don't want to deal with, you know, deep childhood wounds, like their biggest insecurities. And sometimes too, they may even project that onto you. The things they don't like about themselves, they may project onto you. You may have unfortunately encountered that, but you have this big capacity to heal other people and to show them what, you know, they need to heal, what they need to address, what they need to integrate, you know, that shadow work. But, you know, sometimes people run away from that. Sometimes they're intimidated by that. They don't know what to do. Now, this Trine card in your reading, this came up in pile 1 too, but for you all, it's coming across so differently. For you all, it's more so just kind of a reassuring message that you are protected by your spirit guides, because like I said, your spirit guides are very close to you. And even if people project all of their crap onto you, all of their insecurities, that your spirit guides are just wanting you to know that you are protected from that. They will keep giving you messages and signs and helping you connect with your intuition, so that, you know, you don't get overly involved with those people. You see those people for who they truly are, and you understand that, you know, you can be compassionate towards them, but they don't wish you well, they don't wish you the best, and so you have to leave them where they are, unfortunately. And I do think too with this yang energy, I think probably a lot of you have, because you've been through this hermit energy, I think that you do have a divine soul mission that is really important and that is related to healing. I think that could be your life purpose, is healing other people. And so if you resonate with that message, then please take it. But if you don't, you don't. So we'll just end here with a self-care message. We'll get one more for pile 2. Okay, so we have practice feng shui, create a sacred space. I love that for you all, because if you are more introverted, your home is like your sanctuary. So, you know, especially with other people projecting all of this stuff onto you and people misunderstanding you, and you know, this could be something that could be really beneficial. Also, creating a sacred space would allow you to connect with your spirit guides, with the High Priestess. And then it says, get creative and excite your imagination with wonder. So that could be nice too, to create a space within your home where you can express your creativity. That could also be very positive. Usually introverted people, like I said, have very like unique hobbies, or they have something they're very passionate about, because they don't spend all that time alone just sitting around unless they're meditating or something. But anyway, pile 2, this was your reading. I hope that it resonated. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this style of reading or whatever else you want to tell me. But yeah, pile 2, thank you so much for letting me read for you today, and I will see you in my next one. Please take care. All right, all my pile 3s who chose the black kitty cat, welcome to your reading. Okay, so let's find out what people's first impressions of you are. Pile 3, how do you come off to other people? Like I said in the intro, you know, your first impression may be very different than how you actually are. We've seen that kind of with the first 2 groups pretty strongly, especially with pile 2, so we'll see what comes through with you all. Okay, pile 3, how do you come off to other people? Pile 3, and we'll say a thank you, of course, to your guides for coming through and giving us these messages. Pile 3, okay. We have the Queen of Cups, we have the 2 of Cups, the 7 of Pentacles, ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Kind of want to get, let's get maybe 1 or 2 more cards for you, maybe just 1. Temperance, oh wow. Okay, bottom of the deck we have 8 of Pentacles for you. So we have Temperance, Queen of Cups, 2 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, there are a lot of messages coming through. Let's start over here. Okay, with Temperance. We have 2 messages here about balance. We have Temperance and we have the 2 of Cups. So your first impression to other people, how you come off as someone who is very calm, very graceful, someone who in a crisis would calm everyone down and be very centered and very grounded. You're very balanced in your energy. That's how people see you. It doesn't mean in an actual crisis that's how you would act. That's just how people see you. And then here with the 2 of Cups, you seem like someone who is very giving. And again, with that balance, you probably come across as someone who would be a really good friend and someone who would be a really good romantic partner. And I say that too because we have the Queen of Cups. So people see you as someone who is really in touch with their feelings, someone who is compassionate, expressive. You know how to express your feelings, your wants, your needs, your boundaries in a very healthy way. And so I think especially too with Temperance, you just come off as someone who just handles situations with grace. You know, you handle conflict with grace. You're not someone who is quick to anger or someone who would lose their temper and like scream and yell at someone. That's not your vibe, that's not your jam. And then 2, it's like there's this other side of you. So there's this watery emotional side to you, but then there's this balanced grounding energy that you also present with. People see you as very patient and very hardworking, and someone who really knows their craft, someone who is really skilled in some area. So you may have, maybe you're known for this at work, you know, you're really good at your job, or maybe you're just someone who has like a passion, a creative hobby, something that you're really committed to. For others of you too, it could just be that you're a really good mom. I could see that also being a possibility, or a really good father. That could also be a possibility. And for some of you too, it's like you take really good care of your pets. I feel like that just came through. You're known for being a really good pet parent. But yes, I think regardless, you're just known as someone who is patient, hardworking, diligent. You know, you're someone who is reliable, right? Not the type of person who would call out of work all the time or be late and not show up, or, you know, that sort of thing. You know, you are responsible to other people, and I think it's because you have this compassion. Like, you would never want your team at work to suffer because you're calling out all the time, or you would never want to waste other people's time by being like obnoxiously late and not letting them know you're going to be late. You know, those kind of behaviors, you know, you're not known for that. And so I think your first impression with other people, they see this grounded, practical energy coming through as like, oh, this is someone that can be trusted to get things done. But then there's also this emotional side to you, like you would be the peacemaker, the person who could get others to compromise. Yeah, you're just, there's again that sense of grace here, I think would be an overall theme. And now with the Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of funny. This is like the wild card. Let's actually take a minute and clarify this Wheel of Fortune, because to me, it's coming across as you're someone whose first impression is that you're very lucky. But I could also read it another way, where it may seem like you've gone through a lot of challenges and you've had a string of bad luck, because the Wheel of Fortune can turn, you know, in our favor or not in our favor. It can be against us. So let's just clarify this Wheel of Fortune, because it could go either way. 4 of Pentacles and the Emperor. Oh no, you come across as someone who's very lucky. Okay? You come across as someone who has it all, but there's also this a little bit funny. You come across as someone, it's funny because you have the Queen of Cups, which is like this divine feminine energy, and then you also have this divine masculine energy coming through. So that goes back to what we talked about balance. You seem like a very balanced, grounded person. You know, you have this masculine, hardworking, like earthy energy, and then you have this feminine, which, not to say emotional labor is not work, because it is, but you also have this like soft, compassionate, emotional intelligence to you too. So it's kind of funny, but you're a very balanced, grounded person. That's how you come across. So with the Wheel of Fortune, people think that you're very lucky, but that you're also hardworking. And so it's kind of like some people see you as like, oh, they earned it, you know, they're self-made, and then other people are like, nah, they're lucky, they're really privileged. You know, people do have different impressions. But I think also some people see you as a bit selfish. Some people, which is funny, because you're not. With the 2 of Cups, you are not selfish. And like I said, I think maybe it's a bit divided there, where some people see how giving you are, but other people see you as someone who has it all and you don't share. You know, you hold on tightly too. For others of you, you come across as very frugal. You don't spend a lot of money. You hang on to your resources. But like I said, if a certain message doesn't resonate, leave it. But I do think that maybe there's also a little bit of division here, where some people get you and other people, you know, they kind of want to believe the worst in you. And it could be too, like, given all of these messages here, I feel like you're a really popular person, but the people who don't like you really don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, because you're so popular, I do think you inspire a bit of jealousy. We kind of got that in pile 1 as well. Okay, let's find out some more. Okay, you want to come out because you just... All right, pile 3. First impressions for pile 3. Let's try to get maybe one more card or 2. Okay, now an ice cream truck is going by. There have been a lot of noises in this reading. Okay. So we have Hummingbird Dreams. This came out, I think, in pile 1, so maybe you were also drawn to pile 1. Okay, and we have Trillium here. Okay, so Trillium, Hummingbird Dreams, Thinking of You, and Trespassers. Yeah, some of you may have been drawn to pile 1, honestly, because some of this is reading a bit the same. I'll start with this Thinking of You card. You really do consider other people, and that comes across pretty soon, you know, after people meet you, because it's in subtle ways that we can express ourselves, where, you know, like you would be the type of person to hold open the door for someone, like you're very polite. Or if you were in a group of people and you noticed that other people were really talking over this one person, you would say, let's say their name is Layla, you would say, hey Layla, like what was that story you were about to tell? Or hey Layla, that did sound interesting. Can you finish telling your story? Like you would, you know, include them into the conversation and, you know, kind of shift the energy towards them, because you're just very considerate of other people and you wouldn't want anyone to feel left out. You know, like this fairy seems like very much on her own, like you would extend a hand to this fairy and include her in the conversation, that kind of thing. And with this Trespassers card, you are very protective of the people that you care about. You know, you would defend them, you would stick up for your people, and that's why I said, you know, this is also reminding me of pile 1. And also too with this Hummingbird Dreams, this card did come out in pile 1. You know, you're very special, and I think too, pile 1, I was seeing them as the hummingbird. I kind of feel like you are the fairy in this, and you recognize beauty and have a great appreciation for beauty. So maybe you really take care with your physical appearance and how you show up in life. Maybe too, you just like to surround yourself by beautiful things, and so people know you as someone who has like a very clean, nice living space, someone who, like I said, takes care of themselves physically. You just have this very gentle nature too, and I think also you're able to see the good in other people and the beauty in other people. You're not someone who would be jealous or intimidated by someone in the room who, you know, may be more attractive than you or is maybe getting more attention than you. You wouldn't do that. You know, like you appreciate beauty, you appreciate other people's talents and gifts, and you really have a way of fostering that. You know, some of you could be teachers, or you could be just someone who really just values, I think, the beauty in other people. And that's part of what has made you so successful, is that, you know, that makes a great leader, is someone who could, you know, utilize other people's talents and have people come together as a community or as a team, as a group, and create something great. You know, you would have that ability. Okay, and I'll be honest, I have never drawn this card before, so let me pause the reading. I'm gonna get the guidebook because I don't know what this card is about, so give me a second. All right, pile 3, I'm so sorry about that. So I took a peek at the guidebook, and I love that this card came out for you, and I'm so glad that I've never gotten this card before, so that tells me that you all are unique individuals for sure. But this card really speaks about self-love and connecting to your inner child and attuning to the grace that Spirit offers us. You know, Spirit has a lot of grace in terms of, you know, forgiveness and acceptance, and, you know, Spirit isn't judgmental of us. You know, Spirit kind of guides us and helps us grow and gives us that unconditional love, right? And so we carry that within ourselves. And so you are someone who is very compassionate towards others, but the thing is that you extend that towards yourself. And because you love yourself and you don't come across as someone who is always speaking negatively about themselves. You don't put yourself down. You know, you're not sitting there complaining about the way that you look or complaining about things that you don't like about yourself. You don't spread that, you know, self-hatred towards yourself. You don't expose that. You don't speak about that. And it's not to say that you don't have insecurities or that you don't have things that you're vulnerable about. But at the end of the day, you do love yourself, and it's because you've done likely some inner work, you know, to get to this place. And so I think that too is kind of that protective energy coming out as well, is that you are so compassionate towards other people because you've had to learn how to love yourself. And so, you know, when we love ourselves, that gives us a full cup to be able to share with other people. And you're not intimidated by other people, and you don't feel the need to put other people down or project your insecurities onto other people. You don't do that. And so I think too, because you had to get to this place, you had to earn this, that if you were in a group setting and you saw someone else being cruel, if you saw someone else, you know, bullying someone or, you know, really putting them down and creating insecurities within them, you know, you have this softness to you, you know, where you're so compassionate and loving and you don't want to see anyone hurt, but yet you are also this fierce protector, you know. It's giving me strong mom vibes. Like there's this maternal energy to you where you just want to heal and take care of everyone's inner child, and you do so in a way that's very graceful and very balanced, to where, you know, you don't try to save people or, you know, stick your nose in things that aren't your business. Like you don't do that. You don't treat people like projects, but it's kind of like you embody this self-love, and it's an inspiration to other people. And it's very evident when people meet you that you are someone who is poised, and it reminds me again of that quiet confidence that I spoke about with pile 1. And then bottom of the deck, you had painting poppies. To me, this comes across as you are someone who is an optimist and someone who is likely an idealist and will try to make the best of, you know, even really difficult situations. Oh, I like skipped a deck. I'm sorry. Let's get some more zodiac information for pile 3. I also think I shook the camera, so sorry guys. This is such a beautiful card, man. I'm like obsessed with it. Even all of the green here. For some of you, I'm getting earth sign energy from you. Like a lot of Taurus energy I'm getting from you. That could be your rising sign, or maybe that's your Venus sign. Could also be Libra. I'm getting a bit of Libra here with the balance and the scales and the beauty. Okay, let's find out some zodiac information. First impressions for pile 3. First impressions for pile 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not taking all those. Sometimes I do take a lot of cards and other times I don't. It just depends on what feels right to me and what doesn't. Okay, with Leo, some of you definitely have some messages in pile 1. I hate to keep saying that, but it is coming up. And then we also have Pisces here. I could absolutely see that. Opposition. I'm not surprised that you got Pisces because we did have the Queen of Cups to start with. Aquarius. Okay, bottom of the deck we have the Sun. So again, Leo energy coming through twice, because Leo rules the Sun or the Sun rules Leo, whichever way you want to say it. Man, I am like knocking into everything. Okay, so let's start over here. So we have Pisces, and even though Aquarius is an air sign, it is the water bearer. And so I love this for you because this doesn't have to be, like I said, your sun sign or your rising sign, although this could be confirmation for those of you, who that does resonate with. But this is just the energy that you present with. So Pisces, we think very dreamy, you think of psychics, you think of spiritual people, you think of intuitive people, compassionate people, but there is this balance, right, with the two fish here going in opposite directions. And then there's balance too with, there's this full, it's not a cup, but there's this full, let's say cup, but you're pouring it out, so it will be half empty, half full, and you're sharing it with others, because Aquarius is much about the collective and the group. And so that reminds me of the Two of Cups that we got in the beginning, as well as the Queen of Cups with Pisces, because this is a water sign. So I do think many of you, like I said, very connected to your emotions, but also connected to the emotional needs of other people. And so we got that message in pile 1 that you would be a really good friend. I think that is also true for you, that you would be a good friend too. And also with Pisces, I've had quite a few Pisces people in my life, and they do have mom energy. Like, they do have a very maternal side to them. And I think there's this dreamy aspect of you too. I think that connects to like your beauty and your allure, and you're very unique too with Aquarius, and I think that can inspire, a bit of jealousy there too. And I think also with Aquarius people, because they connect so well with the group and because they're so innovative and original and progressive, that also has probably helped you a lot in terms of your success and your status in life. And that could also inspire, some of that envy from other people. With opposition, you've definitely had to overcome challenges in your life, and I think that's why people see you as so hardworking, because that's something they find out very quick about you. Because remember, we had the 8 of Pentacles in the beginning and the 7 of Pentacles. You definitely, let me double check, we did have the 7 of Pentacles, didn't we? Yep. You're someone who's had to be patient. Your success has been hard earned, no matter how much people try to minimize that. Your success has been hard earned, and if you're not there, you will be getting there. If you're stuck in that 7 of Pentacles, you will be coming into the 8 of Pentacles soon. And then with Leo and the Sun, definitely remember how I said you come across as someone who does take care of themselves and does, show up in a nice way. Leo, I'm sorry, I'm like sniffly. Leo takes care of themselves, right? And it's lovely because Aquarius and Leo are opposite signs. And we had all of those messages about balance in the beginning, right? And so that's why I say, like, you take care of yourself, you value yourself, you meet your own needs, but you also meet the needs of the collective. And it's that balance energy, because Leo represents the self and the heart, and Aquarius represents the group, the collective. So lovely balance there, right? And because Aquarius is an air sign, I do think of the mind, so like the heart versus the mind. I do think of that as well. You're very loyal. There's that confidence, that creativity. You just light up a room. You really do. Even if you're not the loudest person in the room or something like that, it's just that people are drawn to your warmth and your energy. There's just this loveliness really to you, this grace that people are drawn to. And it's kind of like that quote where sometimes your light attracts good things, and then other times your light and your warmth attract moths and people who, just like want to drain you of that light. And so I think that is why we had that. You're popular with Leo, you're very popular, but you also inspire jealousy, and people as much as people love you, some people really hate you, and it's for no good reason. And that's a waste of their own energy, right? It has nothing really to do with you. You're not meant for everyone. You know, you're very unique, you're very special. Not everyone has to like you. And some people just don't get it, you know, and it's really their loss because you're such a compassionate, giving person. Treat yourself to something beautiful today. I think that is right up your alley. Love that for you. And then we have create your own happiness. Okay, beautiful. And you have such a great capacity too for creating your own happiness. I mean, with the Emperor and the Queen of Cups, all of this Leo creativity, it gives me Queen of Wands vibes too. With Aquarius, Queen of Swords, you have this great potential within you. There are so many sides to you, and you're a very balanced, well-rounded person, so please don't let those few like naysayers bring you down, because you are so unique and so special and so talented, and I hope that you recognize and see that. Okay, pile 3, this was your reading. I hope that it resonated. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful to you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you always know when I upload. I typically upload every Monday, but you know, I may throw in some surprise readings from, you know, here and there. So make sure you turn on the notification bell so you always know. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for your support and letting me do this reading for you today. Thank you again to your guides. And I will see you in my next one. Please take care, pile 3.